I don't think it's as far as you got, Will. You're going to have to just drop it down that way.
Yeah, you're fine.
I've been saying it, K1. And you never know.
It is the most wonderful time of the year, and it's not Christmas. It's high school playoff time in night no.
Man, I like this PA guy.
Who is this?
All right, check, 1, 2.
2022, the West Virginia Football Championship, presented by CEC.
Have they always been hosted by? Has there always been a sponsor?
I can't hear myself at all in this, though.
Actually, no. I think last year it was sponsored by whoever.
I don't hear myself at all in this.
The smell of coffee and propane fill the air. Now it's time for me to warn you. If you have a heart condition or subject to frostbite, this may not be the ride for you. So put your steady chairs in the upright position, secure your personal belongings, and buckle your seatbelt. It's time for playoff football. Are you ready for the Generals and the Huskies under the Friday night lights?
Okay.
I don't hear myself either, for that matter. Check. Okay, I hear myself really high now.
I hear myself in one channel.
I hear myself. I hear Spanky.
Yeah, I hear myself in one ear.
You can turn it down on my end. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that one too.
Hey, okay, now I got myself in 2.
All right. You hear me fine?
Yep, I got you.
All right, we're in good shape now.
All right, is that better, Will?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that should be just fine. Actually, just turn up just the tiniest bit up.
How's that better? Any better?
Yeah, that's fine
All right
there.
Cool. Check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, we can hear each other now. We're all good on audio front.
To be fair, we probably should have checked it before now, but
Well, but
yeah, I know.
that's on him. When I show up and
I can just get this hood over top of everything if I do it carefully. Actually, it's actually too big of a hood, so it kind of keeps that in my eye finally.
ready to go whenever you are, Doc. Oh. Well, good evening and welcome out here to Winfield High School in Putnam County, West Virginia for second round playoff football action between Herbert Hoover and the Winfield Generals in a 1 versus 9 matchup here in this Class AA. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you along with us this evening for our high school football action this evening on our high school game day platform, our Parmar Stores Game of the Week. And It's second round of the playoffs. Both of these teams coming out with the victory last week. It was Herbert Hoover going on the road as the 9 seed, taking on number 8 Clay County last week. Clay County hosting a playoff game for the first time in 100 years as a school. Had never hosted a playoff game before, Will, but unfortunately for Clay County, Herbert Hoover went down there and spoiled that first ever playoff game with a 63-26 slashing of Clay County last week.
Yeah, I mean, just honestly a typical score from what we've seen of Hoover over over most of the season after those first 2 losses of the season, one of those 2 Winfield. But, just a great way to start off the playoffs. The only real upset in AA, and it was an upset in number only. Like you said, Clay County not necessarily the same pedigree. Hopefully they'll get there. First 100 years isn't a bad way to start. But, just rolling in with a lot of momentum and hoping to carry it into this game against Winfield.
And you talked about for the Huskies, like we've seen the last couple of weeks. Since those first 2 weeks of the season, the Huskies have been on a roll, winning 8 straight after losing games to what ended up being the number 4 team in Class AA in Scott to open the season, 34-19, and then falling to this Winfield team there at Herbert Hoover, a final 19-14. Winfield actually had to come back in that game, score late, put together a 75-yard drive with all of those yards coming on the ground, like they have most of the season for the Winfield Generals, but a grinded-out game, a game that would have put either of those teams at 0-2. It was Winfield coming away with the win to go to 1-1, and that ultimately springboarded this Generals team. It's a lot better than it was there in week 2, but it's a Generals team that's on a win streak of its own, as we mentioned. 10 games in a row now this Generals team has won after dropping the first contest to the AAA team in Putnam County and the Hurricane Redskins. That one in week number 1, a final 48-21. But this Winfield team has gotten so much better since week 1, Will.
Yeah, I mean, a part of that is how they, we talked to Coach here in this season, talk about implementing an entirely new offense. And through the season, every game, they need to get more comfortable at it until we get here towards the end of the year. And I think it was Beam ran for about 240 I think it was the last game of the regular season, and along with everybody else. So just a team that's got more comfortable with itself as it goes, really believes what they're doing, has seen what they're doing show results, and we'll just continue to see it here as they get more comfortable with what they're doing and hope to keep this playoff run alive, like you said. It's been a while since they hosted one at home, well, except for last week, since last week. And there's a lot of energy in here from both sides.
Yeah, that win last week here at home in the first round coming against the Logan Wildcats, a blowout for the Generals in their first playoff game here at home since 1987, back when the Generals last won a state championship. And this Generals team is number 1 in Class AA this season, with the potential to do it again this year. Winner of this one moves on to the semifinals and will take on the winner of Scott and Frankfort. But we've got to get through tonight's matchup, and this one could end up being a slugfest. It could also end up being a defensive battle. The question is who gets advantage first, and then what can they do with that advantage?
And we look at both these teams, the way they ground and pound the ball, the way they really try to possess the ball. Hoover has more of a passing aspect to them, but their heart's still on the ground. Every possession is going to count. Every turnover is going to be very important. Every first down is going to matter. Both these teams put holding the ball at a premium, so that's going to be a huge part tonight, is who can control and make every drive count, whether it's a score or the field position battle. And we'd be remiss if we didn't say it's a chilly evening here in Winfield this evening, below freezing right now, 29 degrees, and that could end up playing in Winfield's favor because of the time that they practice now this year. This is a Generals team that is on the practice field at 6 a.m. They were practicing 6 a.m. yesterday, getting ready for tonight's game, getting used to the cold temperatures. It could pay off tonight. Well, you can prepare for cold only to a point, but certainly a good effort to try to make that try to get that environment in. And
now,
I know part of it's also just kind of.
I was going to say, not granted, it's not something they did to try to prepare for the cold. It's something they've done all season, but you got to imagine getting them up, getting them acclimated to the cold, getting their minds working in the cold in the early morning could pay off for the Generals here this evening. Captains out at midfield now for the coin toss before tonight's contest. Herbert Hoover in the road white uniforms tonight with the blue helmet with the red H's on the side. Red numbers for Herbert Hoover with the red pants. Winfield, the home team tonight. Number 1 in Class AA with the green jerseys, green helmets, white numbers on those green jerseys, and the black pants for the Generals. Coin toss is in the air. And it appears that Herbert Hoover has won the toss and will elect to defer to the second half. So Winfield, the home team tonight, will get the football to start tonight's contest in this second round playoff matchup. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Well, before tonight's contest, we had a little bit of chippiness on the field between these two schools. You can tell that these are two teams that definitely want to punch that ticket to the semifinals next week and play on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of chirping, and guys not necessarily getting to their side of the field as promptly as they should, but very respectful captains in the middle there. So hopefully they put a little bit of that behind them. We don't want to get into a flag flying affair, but yeah, definitely two teams very motivated. Like you said, Winfield making one of their best pushes for a state championship in a long time, and Hoover still, I think, in some ways, still overcoming last year's playoffs where they took one of the most unceremonious exits you could ever have when they were the number 1 seed. Now,
granted, too, that was a number 1 seed, and Herbert Hoover was playing a 16-seeded Fairmont Senior, probably the best 16 seed in state history. But a chance for Fairmont Senior still this year as the 7th seed in this Class AA playoff to play for yet another state championship.
But regardless, Hurricane or Hoover have everything to play for here in this one. After getting kind of that monkey off their back against Clay County, now it's time to move forward and really make that run towards Wheeling.
Yeah, finally got another playoff win for Joey Fields. After that round 1 victory against Clay County on the road last week. It's a Herbert Hoover team that has been on the road since their final home game against Mingo Central, Joey Fields' former team, had a 55-3 win for Herbert Hoover as part of the 8-game win streak. Hoover tees it up, and we're ready for football here in Winfield. Kickoff is away, and the Generals will muff the opening kickoff, but it'll be fielded and returned now. Coming to the near side, up across to the 25-yard line. On the return there for the Generals is Matthew Daly, the freshman. And he'll be up to the 26-yard line, so decent field position to start here for the Generals offense with their Killer B offense. Bryson Brown, Caden Beam, and Bray Boggs, and the Hayden Hinkle Wrinkle. Backup quarterback who comes in, plays a lot for this Generals team as just a sophomore. It's something that Coach Smolder said he's simply too good to be on the sideline throughout the course of the game, despite what he sees from his senior quarterback in Bryson Brown, who gets the start tonight in the second playoff game here at Winfield since 1987 state championship team. Wing T formation for the Generals starting off. Boggs went in motion, and now they'll reset the check at the line of scrimmage. Again, 1st and 10 from their own, checked at the 27, not the 26. Brown barking out the signal. Now they're ready to go. 1st and 10, first play of the game on the way. Boggs in motion. Fake, or actually they will hand it off to Beam. Beam breaks out of a couple tackles. He's still on his feet across the 30 and up across to the 35. A nice opening play there for the Winfield Generals. A fullback dive to Caden Beam. Team's leading rusher on the season, 157 carries, over 1,700 yards for him, nearly 1,800 in the regular season, well over that, and close to at over 2,000 rushing yards now after his week 1 in the playoff performance. 241 yards for the big man and 4 touchdowns.
And Hoover made contact with him near the line of scrimmage. He was just too big to stop with the less than perfect tackle on that. Bounced to the outside, picked up 10 yards right off the bat.
1st and 10 again now for the Generals. Handoff this time goes to Boggs, and Boggs is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
They have lost a half yard on that one.
Yeah, they're going to mark him back a half yard there. We'll still call it 2nd and 10. Actually, no, they'll move him a full yard back. Correct that. Back to the 36. So 2nd and 11 on the way for the Generals here on the opening drive of this second-round playoff game here on a Friday night in West Virginia.
And an offense is really built on staying on schedule and breaking off pretty good chunks of yardage. Starting off with a negative play on a drive is not the best thing to do.
Especially after that big 10-yard run by Beam to start the drive off. Handoff goes to Beam once again. He's up across the 40. Man, he is a man on a mission when he gets the ball in his hands. picks up 6 up to the 42. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Generals offense. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you with us here this evening from our Frontier Communications broadcast location. Just outside the press box here at Winfield. Boggs in motion, comes to a stop, and now they'll reset and check the play at the line of scrimmage. This is, again, trademark for the Generals offense. Take their time, and now a flag comes down. It's not going to be a delay of game. I believe they're going to get a false start. Yeah, they're going to get the Generals for a false start. There was still plenty of time left on the clock. Somebody along the line moved. So back them up now, 3rd and 10. Definitely not the direction you want to go. Especially when you just had 3rd and 5.
They might have to look towards the 8 here, something that they don't necessarily do a lot of. Fairly successful when they do, but not necessarily something you want to have to do this early in the game.
Kwan Pearson and Tanner Lowry lined up to the outside. Boggs the wing back and Beam the fullback. Handoff goes to Beam, and he's stopped in the backfield for a loss. Loss of 1 back to the 36, and the Hoover defense holds there after giving up the first down on the opening play of the game. Now going to force the Generals to punt it away. Out comes Dylan Cool to punt. Great job there by the Husky defense after giving up the 10-yard opening play run to Beam to hold the Generals to no more. Got aided out by a false start penalty as well, but hey, you'll take it if you're the head coach, Joey Fields, and his staff. Cool just gets it away. Cool as a cucumber punting that one. And it'll take a bounce and die just inside the 25.
And in a game where we saw off the bat that every possession is really going to matter, that's a disappointing start from Winfield here at home. Obviously, the penalty was a real killer there, but 2 really great defensive plays by Hoover to create negative yardage or no gain on that drive. Impressive start for the Hoover defense. They now turn back over their offense.
Huskies offense.
For the first time, at least.
Yeah, Huskies offense out on the field for the first time. Dane Hatfield, the sophomore quarterback, in the shotgun. Hard snap count, trying to draw the defense off. He's got Randy Hugert in the backfield with him. A trips to the top of the formation. From inside to far side, it's Braden Jones, Andrew Rollison, and Jacob Burns. Pass out over into the flat. That is caught by Braden Jones. And Jones with a nice gain there on first down. Get up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. We'll pick up 7. Formation flip to the near side now with Levi Paxton, the Marshall kicker commitment, on the bottom of the formation in that trips look. It's got Rollison, the inside man, in the middle there, and Braden Jones is the inside man on the top of that trips. As Jacob Burns up top. Snap comes back to Hatfield. It's a direct snap, or a quarterback designed run, and Hatfield will have enough for the first down with his forward momentum. Whistle comes as he gets stopped a couple yards shy of the 40-yard line. It's a first down for the Huskies up to the 37. So both teams have picked up a first down on their opening drive. See if the Huskies can do anything with theirs.
That first couple plays is just microcosm of what they really like to do. Dane Hatfield's a great quarterback, and he's a really good rusher. Try to look for opportunities for him to spread the ball around and make the plays himself, keeping the ball. Hatfield
in the regular season with 1,165 rushing yards as he gets his number called there. Ball is on the ground. Able to hold on to it, though, and it'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Hatfield, again, 1,165 passing yards, 16 touchdowns. Did have 10 interceptions, but half of those came in the opening game against the Scott defense that returned 2 of those for interceptions. return 2 of those interceptions for touchdowns. Yeah, thank you, Will. And then Hatfield also, as we mentioned, very adept with his feet. 1,087 yards rushing with 16 touchdowns in the regular season. He added 190 yards on the ground last week and 6 touchdowns against Clay County, 3 of them in each half. Second down, rolling out to his left. Now he's out in some space, and he's just going to tuck it and takes a pretty good hit there at the 40-yard line. Coming up to make the stop, Toby Lowry for the Generals defense. Did a good job of containing the edge there and not allowing Hatfield to bounce it outside or cut back inside where, well, actually, he forced him back inside to where the defense was, rather.
Because he was trying to dump it off to Paxton, but he did a good job of trying to shade over there to prevent that, force him to the inside, and make the tackle. Fantastic job there on the outside, a place where Hoover really likes to make their plays at.
Third down now for the Hoover defense. Winfield sideline starting to make some noise here early on. 6:17 to go on a moving clock here, opening quarter, still scoreless. Hatfield drops back to pass under some pressure, but loads it out deep down the far sideline, and it's caught. Caught up with the catch for the Huskies will be Jacob Burns. Burns takes it to the house. Touchdown, Huskies. So we take a look at it on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay there. Just perfect timing there by Burns. Waited for the defender to jump for it, then stayed there, patient. Ball came right to him, and then he turned and was off to the races for a touchdown.
Yeah, just a slight mistiming by the defender on that one. Great play there, and explosive play there to open up the scoring in this one.
So Huskies take the early lead, 7-0 here in the first quarter. Levi Paxton is out for the PAT try. The Marshall commitment as a kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 our score. 6:03 to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break. Right after this, again, Huskies lead 7-0 here on the road against the Winfield Generals. We're back right after this.
Winter is coming. It's time to remember Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With cooler days ahead, now is the time to call Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and schedule your heating system tune-up. Our experienced technicians will provide you peace of mind with our comprehensive 15-point system service. The Mullen Heating System Service and Safety Inspection will ensure you aren't left in the cold this winter. Remember Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call and schedule your tune-up today or visit us online at mullenplumbing.com.
Hoover with the early 7-0 lead, not quite halfway into this one in the first quarter. After a possession by each, it was Jacob Burns who burns the the General defense for a 59-yard touchdown reception. Put Hoover on top, 7-0. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you with us in our Nitro Broadcast Network crew as Paxton puts boot to ball. Daly will field it at the 15, up across the 30. A nice return there for the freshman. And they'll spot him down at the 32. So about a 17-yard return there for Daly. And Winfield's offense comes back out on the field trying to tie the game here after getting that first play first down and then being forced to punt by this Husky defense.
Like we said, just a drive that got bogged down by a couple no gain or 1-yard loss plays, then a false start that really killed him.
Brown sends a man in motion, turns, hands to that, that's Boggs. Boggs with a nice cut back inside, and is finally wrapped up around the ankles just across the 40-yard line. Bringing him down there for the Hoover defense is Andrew Rollison, the senior safety. It's a pickup of 8. Well, 8.5 really, just across the 40-yard line. So second and short on the way for this Winfield offense. Really hasn't trailed many times throughout the course of this season. It's been a Generals team that has very much controlled the tempo of the game when they have played. Handoff goes to Beam for those short yards. He breaks out of a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage, was still on his feet across the 45, and he's brought down just shy of midfield. A nice power run there by the fullback, the captain, and the senior for Winfield. As he'll get up to the 49-yard line. It's a first down for the Generals.
Whether Boggs or Beam, it's not just that they're hard to tackle, but they're really slippery. They can slip through a couple guys while actively being tackled to turn what would normally be a 5-yard gain into about an 8-yard gain like we just saw there.
Yeah, he should have been stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, but picked up additional yardage just because he kept his legs churning. Handoff goes to Beam off the right side, and Beam will get across midfield and into Hoover territory. Down to the 49-yard line, so a 2-yard pickup, bring up 2nd and 8 with about 4.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter.
And like we said, unless they have to punt it here soon, maybe 3 possessions here in this opening quarter. Every possession is going to really matter in this one. Winfield is just behind because they were unable to capitalize on that opening one.
And the Generals love to work time off the clock. That's part of their game plan. 10 seconds on the play clock. Brown under center. 2nd and 8. Sends Boggs in motion. Hands to Boggs off the right side. Boggs on that power run, and he'll be stopped for about a half-yard loss right around midfield. Good pursuit there by the Hoover defense as we see another replay there on our Parmar Stores instant replay. And good pursuit there by that Husky defense. 3rd and a long 8 now for the Generals. About 3.5 to go here in this opening quarter. Winfield trailing 7-0 after the opening score by the Huskies on a 59-yard touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Jacob Burns. 3rd and 8. Brown going to keep it himself coming off the left side. Brown drops his shoulder across the 45, was still on his feet, stretching for the first down. Did he get it?
I think he may have. Looked at the far side ref coming over to near the 40.
That's a first down run for Bryson Brown. What a great job of dropping that shoulder to fight through contact initially, as we saw it there on our instant replay, and then the extra effort to leap for the first down line. 1st and 10 from the 41 of Herbert Hoover now for the Generals.
And that's coming from your 3rd top running threat.
Bryson Brown just under 500 yards rushing in the regular season. He sends Boggs in motion. We'll hand it off to Beam, his big fullback, and Beam will be stopped after a short gain inside the 40. Picks up 2, maybe 3, depending on where they spot him. And they will give him 3, it looks like, yeah, down to the 38. I'm going to check. They'll give him 2, make that to the 39. So 2nd and 8 on the way. Handoff goes to Boggs on a jet sweep to the right. Boggs drops through a shoulder again, and he is met quickly by that Husky defense. They continue to stretch that line of scrimmage out quite a bit. Levi Paxton on the stop for the Huskies. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 now after just a 1-yard gain there on that jet sweep.
And more often than not, this Hoover defense is really being able to string these outside runs along. That really tough run we saw by Brown was about the best run they've had to the outside.
3rd and 7, and a timeout comes from the Generals, stopping the clock with 2:05 to go here in this opening quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more of our high school game day playoff action here between Herbert Hoover and Winfield right after this. Correction, we'll keep you here. While we keep you here, we want to thank some of our sponsors for our broadcast this evening. Looking for a fast and friendly pharmacy, General Drug Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy located in Winfield, offering prescription medications as well as over-the-counter medicines and supplements, offering a full-service drive-through and curbside delivery including patient education and immunizations. We are locally owned and operated with a welcoming atmosphere for our customers. Visit us at 12044 Winfield Road and experience the fast, friendly, and local pharmacy just around the corner from your neighborhood. Back on the field, ready to go. 3rd down and 7 now for the Generals offense. Brown under center. Sends a man in motion, but he'll turn and hand it off to Beam. And Beam is met in the backfield, still on his feet, though, but the Husky defense gets to him in a hurry and for a loss. Man initially making the hit in there is Gavin Allison, the senior middle linebacker. And he will drop him for a loss of 2, make it 4th and 9 for Winfield now. Now Winfield going to play field position here and just punt it away, as it'll be Dylan Cool out to punt, standing just behind the 50-yard line there. That W inside the star at midfield. Back to return for Winfield, or excuse me, for Herbert Hoover is Dane Hatfield. Hatfield just going to let it bounce, though, and it will die at the 6 is where it's going to be stopped.
That's a way to play a field position game. They said they like to play that. They wanted to play that there and did a great job of that, pitting them inside the 6. But like we saw on their last score, Hoover very explosive, can score from virtually anywhere on the field. You were talking about Dan Hatfield's running. You were listing off the running yards for scores he had last week, basically from anywhere inside the 50. So very dangerous offense here. And just because Winfield has a lot of field to protect doesn't mean they're as safe as they would be against other teams.
Minute 10 to go, opening quarter. Huskies with the lead on the road here in this second-round playoff matchup. Hatfield going to keep it himself off the left side. And he is quickly wrapped up by that Winfield defense. And he is stopped for no gain. So 2nd and 10 from the 6-yard line for the Husky offense. Trips to the near side. Paxton at the bottom of your screen there in that trips formation. Rollison and then Braden Jones going toward the top. Hatfield drops back to pass, throws deep down the far side of the field, looking for Burns again, who he hit for the touchdown. And the pass is incomplete, but we've got a flag that comes in from the far side of the field. I think the far official on the near side here is going to call a pass interference all the way across the field because Burns gave a good shove into the back of the defender there.
Number 2, Burns.
There's also a flag all the way back in the backfield too, so there's 2 flags on this play. And we'll await the ruling from our officials. But a little ridiculous for the field judge on this side of the field to call a pass interference when the judge over on the far side didn't call it standing right in front of it.
Still had a fair view at it. I mean, there was nothing in between, but we'll see what they actually call here because pass interference would be ridiculous. Maybe unnecessary roughness, but I mean, it was clearly overthrown for anybody.
So waiting for them to determine what ultimately is going to happen here. 25 seconds left on the first quarter clock, though, that's for sure, and a 7-0 lead for the Herbert Hoover Huskies. Still nothing yet. Okay, so a chop block against Herbert Hoover. They declined that one. They will take the dead ball penalty, though. Winfield will take the dead ball penalty. I believe they're calling a personal foul on that after the end of that play. So again, because it was uncatchable. So it's 3rd down and 13 now for the Husky offense.
Great opportunity here to win that possession, that field position battle again if they can force a punt here.
Now, that penalty was only a half the distance to the goal penalty, so doesn't make it quite as long, but when you're already at the 6, puts you back to the 3. Huskies taking a look over to the sideline for the play call. 3rd and 13 on the way. And a 7-0 game here in this opening quarter. And Herbert Hoover now ready to go with 10 seconds on the play clock. Hatfield in the shotgun. Keeps it himself on a read option. Going to bounce it to the outside, and he's got close to a 1st down as he's forced out. Question is where do they mark him, though? Because, yeah, it does look like he was close to that.
Looks close, but I don't think they.
But yeah, it looks like they're marking him about a yard or two shy. It's really kind of a hard angle for us to tell from this spot. But they are going to say he's short, and he's short by about a yard, yeah. So a pickup of 12 there for Dane Hatfield, the quarterback for Herbert Hoover, bring up 4th down and 1. And now a timeout for the Winfield Generals with 17 seconds to go here in this first quarter. We'll keep you right here, though. We'll step aside for a break at the end of this quarter. Take this opportunity to thank one of our sponsors, Abston & Sons, located at 13465 Winfield Road in Winfield. It's your one-stop shop for all your construction, electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Contact them at 304-757-2864. That's 304-757-2864. Or check out their website at abstonandsons.com. With one call, they can serve it all. Also want to be certain to thank Top Notch Detail. At Top Notch Detail, they offer a wide range of packages to suit their customers' needs. They take pride in detailing vehicles and making sure your vehicle looks top-notch when you leave. They offer consultations to better understand their clients' needs and exceed expectations every time. Come see them. They'll be at their new location, 5082 Elk River Road North in Elkview, starting December 1st. Owner-operator Crawley.
And after the opportunities, or after the struggles that Winfield's had so far in this one, being able to force a turnover on downs here would be massive. But honestly, Hoover's so good at picking up this type of yardage.
4th and 1. Hatfield trying to keep it himself, and I think the Generals' defense may have gotten the stop.
Yeah, I don't think he got there.
It'll depend on where they spot him down, but Generals' defense pinched quickly on that quarterback draw. Or quarterback dive, however you want to put it.
No signal yet.
And they are going to have to bring the chains over from that far side of the field to measure. It's not a very far go, but that'll hold us up here for the final 8 seconds of this first quarter with a 7-0 Hoover lead. While they're bringing the chains over, I want to also make certain to thank Roney's Pizza. Top 10 reasons to visit Roney's Pizza, located at Creed's Landing in Elkview, West Virginia. Best wings in the valley with 6 wing sauces made in-house. That's number 1. Number 2, more than pizza and wings. They have paninis, salads, and delicious soups. Number 3, proud sponsor of Herbert Hoover Athletics. Number 4, friendly staff. 5, homemade dough and made with the freshest ingredients. As they say, it is a stop by the Generals defense. And a turnover on downs. Winfield will get the football back, 1st and 10 inside the 20.
Have to capitalize here with his possession.
Quickly get to the rest of those top 10 reasons to visit Roney's Pizza. Family atmosphere. Open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Locally owned and operated by a Hoover 1984 grad. Dine-in or takeout, number 9. And number 10, unofficial doghouse of Herbert Hoover. I'm sure they will be celebrating there if the Huskies are able to win this one. But the Hoover defense back out on the field now after the turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Generals offense. Brown under center. Turns, fakes the handoff to Beam, or check that the ball's going to throw it out, and it's a touchdown pass on the opening play. He finds K1 Pearson. From 12 yards out, the Generals tie it up as Bryson Brown finds K1 Pearson.
And that was a perfect time to break that play out. He could not have been more open. It was almost that type of thing where you're so open you're afraid you're going to drop it. But a great job there. Like I said, they had to capitalize there, getting this game tied up with this kick. There it goes.
Kick is up and good from William Bradley. With 2 seconds to go here in this first quarter, we've got ourselves a tie ball game, 7-all, as we take another look at that kick from Bradley on our Parmar Source instant replay.
This has been we thought we'd get to the end of the first quarter pretty soon, but man, just a lot of things have been happening. Great job by Winfield, though. Like we said, capitalizing on the opportunity they afforded there by their defense is fantastic stand on 4th down.
Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Happy to have you along with us here this evening on our High School Game Day Parmar Stores Game of the Week Playoff Edition. And this number 9 versus number 1 matchup. The 9th-seeded Herbert Hoover Huskies took the 7-0 lead on a 59-yard touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Jacob Burns. That came with 6:03 to go in the first quarter. Well, 6:01 later, the Generals finally strike the scoreboard after a turnover on downs inside the red zone. It's Brown finding Pearson for a 12-yard touchdown pass to make it 7-all here at almost the very end of this first quarter. Kick is off, bounces at the 25, and it'll be returned. Coming up on the near side for the Huskies there was Joseph White. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Tie ball game here in Putnam County between Herbert Hoover and Winfield. We head to quarter number 2 right after this. Back with more high school game day action on our Parmar Stores Game of the Week right after this.
At Dutch Miller Hyundai in Huntington, we've got more than 50 brand new Hyundais set to hit the lot, including Appalachia's best selection of hybrids. Plus, how about no payments until next year? Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerHyundai.com.
Time for a Labor Day tents event. This is our biggest event ever with the most cars and the most offers.
We've got 4 locations of inventory. Not only are we selling at our main lots, but we've got tents at the Kanawha Mall and the Old Sport Mart Plaza. Every test drive is a chance to win $1,000. Buy a car and get your choice of $1,000 cash, no payments until 2023, 250 gallons of gas, or take a bigger discount.
With the best trade-in figures powered by Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, you can get the best deals of the year.
Go to TopJ4.com and see for yourself.
In Kanawha County classrooms, students of all ages and abilities have access to cutting-edge technologies and ideas. Here, students are supported by a community of teachers, coaches, parents, and administrators with the tradition of ensuring that each child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Where the answer to every what if is we're ready. We're ready to dream bigger, to climb higher. We're ready. Kanawha County Schools, ready for the world.
Second quarter action just about to get underway. Herbert Hoover Huskies and the Generals have flipped into the field, so Hoover going from right to left on your screen now. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you with us here this evening on our High School Game Day Parmar Stores Game of the Week. Handoff goes up the middle to Randy Hugert, and Hugert will pick up 3 yards from the 34 up to the 37.
You are having to step up with Rocco Fry suffering an injury, not playing in this game, but a capable guy who's been part of their offense all year.
And had a great outing in that first round game against Clay County before he left in the second quarter. Would have easily probably had 100 yards on the evening after 9 carries, 77 yards rushing, and had a catch for 4 yards before leaving in that second quarter. Would have been one of 3 guys for the Huskies who rushed for over 100 yards in that win last week. Hatfield dropping back to throw now, is trying to escape some pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Sack by the Generals defense, and that'll be a loss of 1 back to the 36.
And I wanted to get the ball to Burns there towards the flat, but he was well guarded, so he had to try to make the best he could. Good job by Winfield to contain such a slippery and talented runner for a negative play.
Third down for the Huskies offense. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. To the top, it's number 2 and number 1. Burns the top man, Jones the inside man. To the bottom, Andrew Rollison will line up as the inside man in that twin set. Levi Paxton, the bottom of your screen. Hugert in the backfield with Hatfield. Third down on the way for the Huskies. Hatfield going to have to take off, and he is wrapped up and brought down. Coming up with the sack is the big nose guard, 66 Xander Huffman.
Fantastic job there to put that drive to bed. They said Hatfield, great runner, just very talented quarterback. To get to back-to-back negative plays is a huge turnaround. And now getting the ball back for their offense after they were just able to get their first points. Great job all around, really kind of turning things around.
It'll be Gavin Allison to punt it away, standing at his own 20. Boggs stands back at his own 30, awaiting the punt as a late man runs on for Herbert Hoover. 4th and 11. Kick is off. And a pancake block over on the far side of the field for the Generals. There'll be no return, though, for Boggs.
No flag, which the sidelines are divided over that, but so be it, Winfield ball.
Yeah, that was the freshman, number 44, Matthew Daly.
So I guess it's just their special teams ace. I mean, he's been down there on every kick and returning the punts, but just another play to fire up these two sides, which we said were a little bit chippy, very energetic from the start.
Punt went out of bounds at the 40, so Winfield with fantastic starting field position on their opening drive of the second quarter.
This after starting from the opposing 12 on their last scoring drive, so field position really working in their favor so far.
Handoff goes to Beam, but there's going to be a false start. I think there was two people in motion at the same time. Both wings came in. So some miscommunication for the Generals there. That'll back them up 5 yards and make it 1st and 15 now. In a cold evening here in Putnam County, down to 28 degrees now.
Yeah, you can see there. I think it was Pearson also tried to move a little bit, so just a little miscommunication there, but really, like we said, in a game where possessions are at a premium, backing them up is not a great thing.
And they actually take the result of the play there for the Huskies instead of taking the penalty, because now it's 2nd and long instead of 1st and 15. Don't want to give the Generals an extra down to try to do damage against your defense. Well, smart play there.
Well, and Beam also willingly went down, so that's how I was using him against him, because Beam just wanted to go ahead and just end it. But
yeah, Boggs just was trying to avoid taking a big hit. So 2nd and long now for the Generals offense. And it'll be Brown keeping it himself on a quarterback power, and Brown will pick up maybe a yard. Yeah, they're going to give him a yard up to the 39-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 11 now for the Generals. And into the game for the first time this evening. I believe that's Hayden Hinkle. Oh no, check that. This looks like this is a wildcat for the Generals. Bray Boggs and Caden Beam in the backfield now. Bryson Brown on the sidelines. Boggs takes the direct snap, and he is met in the backfield. Huskies defense gets to him in a hurry. Coming up with the stop there was Caden Dotson and Isaiah Chapman. And Boggs stopped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That'll bring up 4th and 13, and out will come the punt team for Winfield.
We're on that replay just now. Just didn't stand a chance on that one. Didn't fool anybody with their intent, and just another example of them trying to go to the outside. Is not really working out tonight against this very laterally fast Hoover defense.
Just under 8 minutes to go here in this first half. Good punt there again by Cool. And it will bounce and stop at the 41 of Herbert Hoover. So not a great punt for Winfield that time.
Check that, number 16, Luke Davis. Downs the ball.
So now Herbert Hoover will get the ball back with a chance to try to take the lead again here. 1st and 10 from their own 41. A little more than 7.5 to go in this opening half of action. Again, Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you along with us and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. And Hatfield keeps it himself, and Hatfield met in the backfield for a loss. Slinging him down there, Jace Miller and Tommy Fluharty. And that'll be a 2-yard loss back to the 39.
It's great penetration, get back there on a relatively slow developing play.
You know, we thought the offenses might shine in this one with the high scoring ability of both teams. Herbert Hoover averaging 45.1 points per game. Winfield averaging just under 41 points a contest, but the defenses for both of these teams are exceptionally stout. Hatfield takes a snap, throws it far across the field to Jacob Burns. Burns misses one tackler, but can't get past the other one, and he'll get up to the 45-yard line. It is a pickup of 6, or bring up 3rd and 6 after it was a 2-yard loss a few plays ago. And this, so a Winfield defense that's only allowing just under 14 points a game, and a Huskies defense that allows just under 20. Right now, it's the defenses winning this one in this first half of a 7-7 game. A little more than or a little less rather than halfway through this second quarter. Hatfield in the shotgun, third down. Steps up in the pocket, throwing deep down the far side of the field, looking for his man, Braden Jones, and that one is incomplete. Great coverage there for the defense from Winfield. Toby Lowry in on the coverage. And that'll bring up 4th and 6 now for the Huskies, and they'll have to punt it away.
That's going to bring up 4th down and 6 for the Huskies.
And it's a rematch from week number 2. Game that you could say started it all for both of these teams. Herbert Hoover fell to 0-2 after that loss and then rattled off 8 straight wins to get here. Winfield picked up win number 1 of the season there in week number 2 and then has rattled off 10 straight to get here as the number 1 seed. Generals almost got the punt block, but it'll be down just before the 30-yard line. Great effort there by the Generals to try to block that punt.
So sorry about the 21-yard line. You know, we were talking about that incredible drive that Winfield had earlier in the season to win their game over Hoover. This would be perfect time for another one of those. Just under half of the quarter left before halftime. You know, so they've been struggling laterally. Boggs has really struggled getting to the sideline, but we'll see if they try some more running up the middle.
Brown keeps it himself, trucks one defender, and gets up across the 30. And depending on where they spot him, that might be a first down run. And they're going to spot him down at the 33. And that's a first down. An 11-yard run there. Nice run there for Bryson Brown.
Brown, 21 yards on 3 carries so far. 2 of those were 9 and 11 yards, so pretty efficient when he's held on to the ball.
Brown under center again, wing T formation. Boggs goes in motion. Handoff goes to Beam, the fullback. Beam will get a couple of yards up across the 35, but a short gain there after that Hoover defense gets to him quickly. Zach Greer, as well as Connor Brinkman in on the stop. 3-yard gain there for Beam. Bring up 2nd and 7. Brown up under center. Sends Boggs in motion again. Handoff goes to Boggs off the right side. Boggs follows his blocks in front of him, but couldn't stay on his feet very well. Looked like he was sliding around a bit there. He does pick up the first down as he gets up to the 45, but if he hadn't been sliding a bit there, he had a blocker in front of him and could have taken off toward the end zone.
Well, like I said, up until then, Boggs was having a little bit of struggle, but that's why you don't move away from a guy like that. Finally finds a crease, earns another first down. Good-looking drive so far for Winfield. Good chunk plays, which is really their bread and butter.
1st and 10 from the General 45 now after that first down run from Bray Boggs. Boggs and Beam, 2 of the top 3 rushers in the Cardinal Conference this season. And now a timeout taken by Winfield. That is their 2nd timeout. Check that, their 3rd timeout in this first half. So that stops the clock with 4:17 to go here in this opening quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more second-round playoff action right after this here in our high school game day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week.
I've said it for years. I try to make an impact by taking an impact. And right now, I'm basically worthless. But Kia is so safe. Every day I walk in there, I walk out without a scratch. I mean, it's not like I'm not being put to good use. Not where I'm at Kia. It's just the opposite of dangerous. It's just really safe. And they keep cranking out safer vehicles every year, so I have no future here.
Right now at Dutch Miller Kia, get a 2023 Sportage starting at just $269 a month.
West Virginia Coal Association, still Coal keeps the stadium lights on. Proud to have them sponsor one of our many sponsors of our broadcast this evening. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you along with us here. 4:17 to go, second quarter. After the timeout by Winfield, Brown keeps it himself on a read option. He'll get brought down at midfield out of bounds along the near sideline. Nice run there by the senior QB. as he will get up, down to the 49 into Herbert Hoover territory. So a 6-yard gain there on 1st and 10.
6 yards is his average so far in 4 carries, being really efficient with the ball, like I said, when he decides to keep it himself, or when they call for it to keep it himself anyway.
2nd and 4 for the Generals. Boggs in motion, and a flag comes from in the defensive side of the ball. Could be a false start against the Generals. A legal substitution against the Huskies.
I did not notice what really led to that, but
yeah, but that is an automatic first down though for the Generals. And if you're the Herbert Hoover, you hate giving them free 5 yards there because it keeps your defense out on the field.
And Coach Fields looks pretty perplexed by the call there, and
you might be able to see him there at the top of your screen, trying to get better clarification on what happened. He is not happy at all. 1st and 10 though for the Generals now. Boggs gets it on a counter back to the far side of the field. He's got a lane to the sideline. He's got a first down, and he is going to be stopped just a short distance after that. Gavin Allison with the stop there, but it will be a 12-yard pickup.
They haven't really
Check
shown
that, 10 yards, excuse me.
They haven't really shown much of this yet in the game with that reverse, so a great job of showing something new on this drive that's really developed well.
Parmar Stores instant replay. 1st and 10 for the Generals from the Hoover 34-yard line. I formation now, or excuse me, an offset I. Toss to Beam. Beam tripped up from behind. It'll be Chapman and Gavin Allison bringing him down. But Beam does pick up 4 down to the 30. Just under 3.5 to go here in this first half. Tie ball game, 7-all. The Generals are driving now. 2nd and 4 from the 30. Remember, Herbert Hoover is set to get the football in the second half after winning the coin toss and deferring. So 2nd and 6 now for the Generals. Boggs in motion. Brown turns, hands to Boggs off the right side. Nice run there by Boggs down inside the 25 and just shy of the 20, down to the 22. 8-yard run there for Bray Boggs, one of the 3 killer bees on this Generals offense.
And Boggs really flipped the switch on this drive. Carries of 8, 11, and 8 yards. Really helping fuel them down on this potentially scoring drive as they move down close to the 20.
Generals just outside the red zone. Hoover going to take a timeout here with 2:45. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more second-round playoff action here on our high school game day, Parmar Stores Game of the Week.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Hi, I'm Doug Scaff, president of HD Media. Really excited about what we're building here, and even more excited to take you along for the ride. So buckle up and let me introduce you to the new HD Media Plus app, the future of digital journalism.
Back here at Winfield High School, Brown going to keep it himself, and he'll be brought down inside the 20. Looks like a pickup of 4, how they're going to spot him by Bryson Brown. And check that, it's a 5-yard gain, so 2nd and 5 now for the Generals, now inside the red zone. Generals scored their only time in the red zone in that first quarter, coming there at the very end of it. Handoff goes to Boggs on a sweep to the near side, and Boggs will be brought down inside the 15. They'll bring him down at the 14. So a 3-yard gain. 3rd and short now. And if I were a betting man, I'd assume it'd be going to Caden Beam. Big fullback, leading rusher on the team. Regular season, 1,777 yards, 17 touchdowns for him in his senior season. Then added to that total with the first-round playoff win. 24 carries, 241 yards, 4 touchdowns for that young man. 3rd down. Snap comes back to Boggs. Instead, it'll be a toss to K1 Pearson. Pearson with a first down run, or it looks like he got the first down. Depends on where they spot him.
And Adam, I think if it's not, they're going to go for it anyway. As close as it'll be.
Very close play there.
Yeah, they're calling it 4th, so
yeah,
Pearson about a yard there for him, I guess.
Offense going to stay out there. 4th and a short 1. Brown under center, turns, hands to Beam this time. Beam stopped initially. Does he stretch across? Still waiting for the signal. He was right there, initially stoved, and then got a push in the back from Bray Boggs. No signal yet.
No, now they're signaling it's Hoover's ball.
And they are going to say a turnover on downs, I believe. Yeah, they're asking for a Hoover football.
Not the most emphatic call there, but yeah, it looks like what's happening.
Yeah, that's a turnover on downs. Hoover defense stands tall. Wow, didn't even bring the chains over. That's very surprising. So no gain.
That's a huge play there by Hoover. Still time, well, not a whole lot of time, but they're also getting the ball at the beginning of the second half.
1st and 10 for the Huskies from their own 13 with exactly a minute to go here in the first half. Tie ball game at 7-all here in this second-round playoff matchup. The first ever playoff meeting between these two schools.
And I think we're going to see some aggressive play calling here in this last minute, trying to capitalize.
Hatfield in the shotgun, hands off to Hugert. Hugert still on his feet, and he'll stopped short of the 20. They'll give him the 19.
Well, maybe I was wrong. That
so a 6-yard pickup.
Aggressive.
Well, I'll check that. Now they're going to give him to the 20, so a 7-yard run there. Bring up 2nd and 3. 35 seconds on the clock now. Snap comes back to Hatfield. Hatfield keeping it himself on a read option, and he'll be brought down about a yard shy of the first down, up to the 22. And that very well could be the final play here in this first half. All depends on if the Huskies want to snap it here on 3rd and 1. There's plenty of time on the play clock where they wouldn't have to, but they are going to snap it. Hatfield drops back to throw, climbs in the pocket under some pressure, and he's brought down for a sack. Coming up with the sack for the Generals defense is Logan Howell, the Mike linebacker. The senior makes the stop on the final play of the half and keeps the score 7-all as they head to the locker rooms. What a half of football, Will. Defense is prevailing so far in this one.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised, you know. We knew that coming in, they had 2 talented defense, 2 very high-scoring offenses. I honestly thought it was going the other way, but combination of maybe some of it's the weather, but there's just a lot of factors going on right now. It's leading to a low-scoring game, an exciting game, and one that's is probably going to stay close to that right down to the end.
Hoover took the lead first with 6:03 to go in the first quarter. It was a 59-yard touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Jacob Burns, and then with 2 seconds to go in the first quarter, Pearson caught a 12-yard touchdown pass to tie it up at 7 apiece. We're going to halftime now. We've got commercial inventory to clear. We'll be back after that here on our High School Game Day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Rousey at 304-925-8000.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Make sure you are informed. With HD Media, we are leading the state in local, digital, and print media. We are storytellers. We focus on education, health, entertainment, politics, opinions, sports, and the outdoors. Through our websites, print, or social and mobile apps. We work every day to enhance the lives of our customers by informing, entertaining, and empowering our readers in the communities we serve. We are HD Media. Hi, I'm Doug Scaff, president of HD Media. Really excited about what we're building here, and even more excited to take you along for the ride. So buckle up, and let me introduce you to the new HD Media Plus app, the future of digital journalism. This will be your home for local news, sports, and features that you won't see anywhere else, all in one convenient location. And it's easy to set up right now on your smart TV. Just type in HD space media under the search. Look for that bright green logo and add the channel when it pops up. HD Media Plus is currently available on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, and coming soon to all iOS and Android systems. So download it on your TV today and join us as we lead the way into a new era of digital journalism tailored to your interests and needs.
At Dutch Miller Jeep of South Charleston, we're the #1 Jeep dealer in the entire state of West Virginia for one reason: friends and family pricing for everyone. For a limited time, during Jeep Adventure Days, lease a Compass Latitude 4x4 or Renegade Latitude 4x4 for just $299 a month. At Dutch Miller Chevrolet, it's Truck Month with a fresh order of brand new Silverados hitting the lot with true invoice pricing. And to top it off, how about no payments until next year? Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerChevy.com.
I'm Keith Powell, and I'm in love with helping you get your next car, truck, or SUV. I love saying yes to $2 down. I love saying yes to $200 monthly payments. I love saying yes to up to $2,000 more for your trade. And I love saying yes to your approved with my Keith Says Yes credit approval process. All of this plus a lifetime warranty only at Yes Chevrolet in Hurricane.
Rocky Knob Farm from Pritchard, West Virginia wants to say good luck to all the Wayne County teams this football season. We support our teams as they support us throughout our harvest season. Jason, Tabitha, and Tanner say go Wolves, go Rebels, go Pioneers. And remember, if it ain't Rocky Knob, it ain't corn on the cob. The Cerrito Farmers Market will remain open through October. The cool, crisp football nights is a sure reminder that pumpkin harvest season is upon us. See you at the market.
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG Tundra Hybrid. Give your new Toyota the protection it deserves with a genuine Toyota service contract. Visit balltoyota.com. Ball Toyota of Charleston. It's a whole new ballgame.
Here at Elite Roofing, we take pride in helping you take care of the people who mean the most to you. We specialize in residential and commercial roofing services. Our roofing company is dedicated to providing customer service that is simply second to none. Whether you have a new construction project or need to replace an old or damaged roof, our roofing contractors in West Virginia and surrounding areas have what it takes to meet all of your commercial and residential roofing needs. Contact us today for a free consultation.
This event brought to you by Cipriani and Warner, attorney at law. Structural Systems, Inc., your fabrication specialist. And Mullins Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
At Dutch Miller Hyundai in Huntington, we've got more than 50 brand new Hyundais set to hit the lot, including Appalachia's best selection of hybrids. Plus, how about no payments until next year? Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerHyundai.com.
In Kanawha County classrooms, students of all ages and abilities have access to cutting-edge technologies and ideas. Here, students are supported by a community of teachers, coaches, parents, and administrators with the tradition of ensuring that each child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Where the answer to every what if is we're ready. We're ready to dream bigger, to climb higher. We're ready. Kanawha County Schools, ready for the world.
I've said it for years. I try to make an impact by taking an impact. And right now, I'm basically worthless. But Key is so safe, every day I walk in there, I walk out without a scratch. I mean, it's not like I'm not being put to good use. Not where I'm at Kia, it's just the opposite of dangerous. It's just really safe. And they keep cranking out safer vehicles every year, so I have no future here.
Right now at Dutch Miller Kia, get a 2023 Sportage starting at just $269 a month.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Rousey at 304-925-8000.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Make sure you are informed. With HD Media, we are leading the state in local, digital, and print media. We are storytellers. We focus on education, health, entertainment, politics, opinions, sports, and the outdoors. Through our websites, print, or social and mobile apps. We work every day to enhance the lives of our customers by informing, entertaining, and empowering our readers in the communities we serve. We are HD Media. Hi, I'm Doug Scaff, president of HD Media. Really excited about what we're building here, and even more excited to take you along for the ride. So buckle up, and let me introduce you to the new HD Media Plus app, the future of digital journalism. This will be your home for local news, sports, and features that you won't see anywhere else, all in one convenient location. And it's easy to set up right now on your smart TV. Just type in HD space media under the search. Look for that bright green logo and add the channel when it pops up. HD Media Plus is currently available on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, and coming soon to all iOS and Android systems. So download it on your TV today and join us as we lead the way into a new era of digital journalism tailored to your interests and needs.
Back here at Winfield High School. Halftime right now. A little more than 2.5 to go until we start up the second half of play between the number 9 Herbert Hoover Huskies and the number 1 Winfield Generals here in this Class AA second round playoff matchup. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you along with us here this evening on a cold, cold night in Putnam County. Started off at about 29, 30 degrees at kickoff. Well, we've dripped down to about 27 degrees. Not much colder, but the wind, fortunately, has been staying away from this one. Hasn't had an impact one way or the other or either side, but the defense has had a big impact in this first half. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, again, as we mentioned, those defenses have been tremendous, Will. They've been tremendous all season, but holding two teams that average over 40 points a game to 7 after the first half of play, and after one quarter of play, pretty impressive performance for both the Huskies and the Generals defensive units.
Yeah, the Huskies especially, they're really using their team speed to really shut down outside running from Winfield. Down the middle is where Winfield's had most success, but they've done a good job of cutting off those outside runs. There before that last drive, which ended on a fourth down stand, Boggs had some trouble on those outside runs to start again on track a little bit before Winfield's defense has done a really good job with penetration, getting after Dane Hatfield, stop making him dance around the backfield. Sometimes he can slip away, but not all the time. They've gotten several sacks on him and really kind of impacted him that way. So both defenses kind of finding something to take away that's been a really big factor for them.
Really, outside of the opening score from Herbert Hoover, that 59-yard touchdown pass, no big plays from either side offensively. There have been a couple of 10-yard gains here and there, but for the most part, relatively well contained from both sides of the field on both of their defensive units.
And that's surprising. Like you said, there was that big 59-yard touchdown pass that Hoover had to Burns had that for the opening score of the game. But beyond that, I don't think any plays got more than about 11, 12 yards. Both teams did a really good job containing what are two offenses that really lived on, if not chunk plays, big plays.
Herbert Hoover is set to get the football to start the second half of this one. But before we start the second half of that, let's take a look at some scores from around the rest of the playoffs. We'll start in Class AA. Winner of this one, we'll have to wait to find out who wins tomorrow between Frankfort and Scott. Number 5, Frankfort travels to number 4, Scott, down in West Madison. In the third quarter right now in a 6-3 matchup, North Marion traveling to Roane County, an undefeated Raiders team, and it's scoreless right now. Third quarter in that 6-3 matchup. In the 2-7 matchup, a great matchup in 2-7-2. It's the reigning champs in Class AA, Fairmont Senior, taking on Independence, but at the half, undefeated Independence leads the defending state champs. 12-0 your score there. Quick other look at some scores from Class AAA. Parkersburg South up 48-0 on Musselman. Second quarter, they're probably at halftime now. Hurricane leading GW by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. George Washington trailing there on the road close to halftime. And then 2 Saturday games in Class AAA. Number 10, Jefferson travels to number 2, Huntington. Second week in a row, Jefferson's had to make a trip to the Huntington area after knocking off Spring Valley last week. And then Bridgeport, after a win against Cabell Midland, takes on number 3, Martinsburg tomorrow as well. Winfield kicks it off here to start the second half, and it'll be scooped up just inside the 20 by Rollison. Rollison will get up near the 30 and then still on his feet across the 35. Pyle still moving across the 40. And he'll finally be brought down between the 40 and 45. We do have a flag down on the field, though. This one might be a block in the back or a hold.
The way that will develop, it really can't help it. Someone can't help but block someone in the back the way he got that much push.
As we took another look at it there in our Parmar Stores Instant Replay. Big thanks to them for sponsoring our replays and our Game of the Weeks all season long. Also want to make certain to thank General Drug Pharmacy, Abston & Sons, Top Notch Detail, Roney's Pizza.
And that's actually against Winfield. So a great return topped off with a Big foul push him way into Winfield territory just to start the drive.
Yeah, they're calling a personal foul on the Generals. So 15 yards added on to the end of that run, and Herbert Hoover will have the football 1st and 10 from inside the Generals territory to start this first drive of the third quarter. Hatfield drops back to pass, rolling to his left under some heavy pressure, and almost getting to him there is Logan Howe. He'll throw it away, and incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
The mature job there of just getting rid of it, not taking a sack, not taking a big hit. Live to fight another day.
Also want to make certain to thank Frontier Communications for our broadcast location here this evening, as well as the West Virginia Coal Association and Dean Jeffries with State Farm. Appreciate them sponsoring our broadcasts this evening. Don't forget, we'll have our Kroger Player of the Game coming up here in the fourth quarter. First half, way too close to make a decision just yet, as we had ourselves a 7-all game here. Not quite 20 seconds in to this third quarter after the incompletion. Hatfield keeps it himself on a read option. A nice run there for Hatfield inside the 40 down to near the 35, and he'll be a couple yards shy of a first down, but a nice run there for Dane Hatfield, again, who gets it done with his legs equally as well as he does through the air. Third and 3. Hoover looking over to the sideline for the play call in this tie ball game. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Herbert Hoover trying to go there for the 4th time ever in school history. Snap goes back to Hatfield in the shotgun, kept it himself, and Hatfield has a first down run, still on his feet inside the 30, and he'll finally be stopped as they blow the whistle dead a couple yards down inside the 30 after a first down run there for Dane Hatfield. Take another look at it on our Parmar Stores instant replay, just calling his number himself there, and a nice run off the right side.
First down, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Huskies from Winfield's 28. Huskies looking over to the sideline for the play call here. Now ready to go with 7 seconds on the play clock. 5 seconds, ball comes back to Hatfield in the shotgun, keeps it himself off the right side on another read option there. And Hatfield with a nice run there on first down. Tanner Lowry brings him down.
Runs of 8, 6, and 7 yards on his last 3 carries. Hatfield really succeeding as a runner on this drive.
Should be Laffery. 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3 on the way for the Huskies offense. Hubert stands to the left of Hatfield in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Handoff goes to Hubert. Hubert takes a big hit in the backfield. Blitz comes from the Winfield middle linebacker, Logan Howe, as we take another look at it. He was back there in a hurry.
Well, that's some of that penetration I was talking about in the first half that was really a difference for this Winfield defense coming in there and really setting, giving themselves a better chance here on 3rd down if you back them up a few yards.
Yeah, loss of 2 there. 3rd and 5 now here on this opening drive of the third quarter tie ball game. Hoover just outside the red zone. Hatfield drops back to throw, is under some pressure, but completes it to the man he threw the touchdown pass to in the first quarter, Jacob Burns, and Burns is going to have another one. Touchdown, Hoover. Huskies take back the lead 13-7 after the touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Jacob Burns, his 2nd of the evening. So we take another look at it here. Again, breaking out of 2 arm tackles there. Burns races his way into the end zone for the final 10 yards and puts Hoover on top. 13-7, extra point try on the way. There was a dead ball personal foul.
I believe that one was on Burns for a little too excessive a celebration there at the end. But
and I think they're just going to enforce that on the kickoff. So yeah, dead ball and personal foul.
That's good. Try for point coming from number 22.
And yeah, they will try that on the kickoff. So PAT try normal here for Levi Paxton, the Marshall University commit, as a kicker. Also the team's leading receiver, 498 yards in the regular season coming in to the game. Kick is up, and it is good. 7-point lead for the Huskies here on the road against the #1 team in Class AA. 9:03 left here in this third quarter. We'll step aside for a short break and be back with more second-round playoff action here from Winfield right after this on the High School Game Day Palmar Stores Game of the Week.
At Dutch Miller Hyundai in Huntington, we've got more than 50 brand new Hyundais set to hit the lot, including Appalachia's best selection of hybrids. Plus, how about no payments until next year? Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerHyundai.com.
In Kanawha County classrooms, students of all ages and abilities have access to cutting-edge technologies and ideas. Here, students are supported by a community of teachers, coaches, parents, and administrators with the tradition of ensuring that each child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Where the answer to every what if is we're ready. We're ready to dream bigger, to climb higher. We're ready. Kanawha County Schools, ready for the world.
Will keep it himself on a quarterback power to the outside. Hinkle breaks out of a couple arm tackles, still on his feet down inside the Hoover territory, and I think he's got himself enough for a first down for the Generals offense.
If not, it's very close. There we go.
Yes, he does. First down run for Hayden Hinkle. Nice 10-yard gain there. First and 10 for the Generals from the Huskies' 45-yard line. Still Hinkle in the game at quarterback for Winfield, and Miller in as the fullback. Two receivers to the near side, Luke Davis, and that is Aiden Hernandez. Toss comes to the near side to Jace Miller. Miller cuts back to the far side of the field, and Miller going to be stopped for a short gain. Making the initial contact on him was Caden Dotson, defensive end. And it'll be a 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 on the way for Winfield.
Adam, that is the 7th General to register at least one carry so far in this one. Brown, Boggs, Beam, Hinkle, Pearson, Hernandez, and now Miller. Really getting everyone involved here, trying to find a way to break through and even this game up.
2nd and 7, just under 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Offset I for the Generals. Hinkle gonna drop back to throw, throws down the near side, has a wide open man, and it's caught at the 20. Brought down inside the 10, it's Toby Lafferty making the catch. Toby Lafferty. First down grab and inside the goal line area. Down to the 8. A 37-yard pickup. As we take another look at it here on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay, a perfect pass from Hayden Hinkle sets the Generals up first and goal from the 8. Hinkle sends a man in motion. Handoff goes to Boggs. Boggs high steps over a man, and he's brought down at the 6. Check that. They're going to mark him down at the 5. Give him a gain of 3. Second and goal from the 5 on the way for the Generals. Generals doing this drive so far without the killer bees out there until Boggs got it there just a moment ago. Bryson Brown and Caden Beam on the sideline. Jace Miller still the fullback. Boggs the wingback. Hinkle under center. Takes a snap, and it's a quarterback power to the left. Hinkle tripped up, and tripping him up there was Andrew Rollison, and he will pick up at least 1, maybe 2, depending on where they spot him.
Hoover defense,
they're going to give him 2, down to the 3.
Hoover defense has done a good job of tightening up here after giving up that big play, but I'd venture to say this is probably 4th down territory for Winfield, or 4 down territory.
3rd and goal from the 3. Generals with a chance to come within an extra point of tying the game. Just over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and goal coming up. Hinkle under center, sends Boggs in motion. Toss to Boggs to the near side. Boggs has got a lane to the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Winfield. A 3-yard touchdown run from Bray Boggs puts the Generals an extra point away from tying it here in the 3rd quarter as we take another look on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay.
Just good, great job of finding the edge. The outside guys do just well enough to get that blocking in and give him a path to the end zone. Huge score here. Still plenty of time left in this one, tying it back up. A great drive there by Winfield, including that almost surprise pass. So far, they've only attempted 2 passes, completed both of them.
Kick is up, and it's good. 14 for Huskies, 14 for the Generals. With under 5 to go in the 3rd quarter, we've still got ourselves a ball game, folks, here in Putnam County. We're back with more high school football action here in the playoffs, the 2nd round matchup between number 9 and number 1, right after this on our High School Game Day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week.
I've said it for years. I try to make an impact by taking an impact. And right now, I'm basically worthless. But Key is so safe, every day I walk in there, I walk out without a scratch. I mean, it's not like I'm not being put to good use. Not where I'm at Kia, it's just the opposite of dangerous. It's just really safe. And they keep cranking out safer vehicles every year, so I have no future here.
Right now at Dutch Miller Kia, get a 2023 Sportage starting at just $269 a month.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Rousey at 304-925-8000.
An absolutely disastrous special teams play there for Hoover. Wasn't quite ready for how far that one went back and got stuffed at the 9-yard line. So, or excuse me, they're going to give him the 10. So
yeah, Rawson fortunate to get back to the 10, but great job on the coverage there by the Generals kickoff team. As now they'll set their defense up in prime position after getting that score from the offense just a few moments ago as Bray Boggs punched it in from 3 yards out to tie the game at 14-all after the extra point was good from William Bradley. So back out now are the Huskies offense. Hatfield keeps it himself on a read option up the middle, and Hatfield met quickly after a 2-yard gain.
And last scoring drive for Hoover saw Hatfield really be the primary ball carrier, rip off a couple good plays before finding Burns for a second touchdown pass. Let's see if they try to stick with that again. Hugart only 3 carries so far in this one for 8 yards, including that last time he was stuffed on that last drive. So, Dane Hatfield really being even more of the running game than he normally is for the Huskies tonight.
Yeah, it's been the Dane Hatfield show so far this evening. He's going to keep it himself here on a quarterback power to the left, and he's got a nice first down run there across the 20. He's up across the 30 to the 40, trying to cut back inside the middle of the field, and he's going to be brought down in Winfield territory just across the 50-yard line. Jackson Cunningham makes the hit, but not before Hatfield picks up a great gain there on second down to be brought down at the 47 of Winfield. So we take another look at it on our Parmar Stores instant replay.
Just a great job of knowing when to cut in and start turning upfield. Great job of fighting through those last couple tackle attempts before they finally got him. Just a great run there. Huge chunk play, something they're really looking for each and every time.
I believe that's a 41-yard run there for Dane Hatfield. Hatfield gets his number called again. Hatfield inside the 45 and will be brought down shy of the 40 a couple yards.
Once again, 13 Hatfield. Right now, number 52, Caleb Poole, gain of 5 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for Hoover.
And Hatfield approaching 100 yards on the ground, 13 carries, 85 yards, 96 through the air as well.
2nd and 5 on the way for the Huskies. A little more than 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Hatfield drops back to throw, throws to the near side. That's caught by Burns. Burns will be stopped short of the 35 or right at the 35, depending on where they spot him, but that is enough for a first down after a 7-yard pickup.
That puts Hatfield over 100 passing, and Burns pretty close to 100 receiving. The only pass not to Burns was a 7-yard pass to Jones.
Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you along with us here from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. The Parmar Stores High School Game Day Game of the Week. Hatfield keeps it himself. 1st and 10. Still on his feet as he broke out of a tackle, and he's got a path to the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies. From 35 yards out, Dane Hatfield puts Herbert Hoover on top again here with 2:37 to go in the third quarter. Let's take another look there on our Parmar Stores instant replay.
That's just being tenacious through the middle, fighting through tackles, and then just turning on the jets. Perfect example of what this young man is as a rusher. Just fantastic individual effort. Great job by the offensive line, too, to help him that push and get through to the second and third level.
35-yard touchdown run for Dane Hatfield. His first rushing touchdown of the evening after he had 6 last week in the first round. Now a flag comes in on the PAT try.
Hatfield now 224 total yards between rushing and receiving, doing a great job out there. As his team really relies on him to be that do-it-all guy, especially with the injuries they've had to deal with on their offense.
Offside on Winfield, the call there. So they'll move the PAT try half the distance to the goal. Eli Paxton out for the PAT.
Yeah, I'm probably going to see more Paxton. Ooh,
kick's blocked.
Big block there.
Kick is blocked, and it'll remain a 2014 Hoover lead here on the road. That one could have major implications later on as we take another look at it. Right up the middle, the Generals get the kick block.
Yeah, just one of those speed rushes up the middle, and that, like I said, that could be huge. Up until then, all PATs have been just your standard makes, so we'll have to see if Winfield can make them pay for that, if that 1 point ends up being an issue at the end.
2:37 to go here in the third quarter. We'll keep you right here. Take this opportunity to thank one of our sponsors, Dean Jeffries with State Farm. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like calling the right play or going for it on 4th and 1 and getting the first down. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Dean Jeffries is right here in West Virginia to help you select the right protection at the right price. Dean will make sure that you understand your State Farm coverages so that you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Dean Jeffries, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call Dean when you want the right deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Getting set for kickoff after that touchdown by Dane Hatfield, a 35-yard touchdown run that put Herbert Hoover back on top. PAT was blocked, though.
And Adam, the longest or the shortest scoring play they've had so far tonight, 24 yards. 59-yard touchdown pass, then that 24-yard touchdown pass, and then 35-yard run. So big plays led to all of Hoover's scores so far. Let's see if Winfield can put another one on the board here and keep pace.
That will be returned over on the far side by Zach Frohnapple, senior backup linebacker for Winfield. And he will get the return up to the 35-yard line. So decent field position for the Generals to start their second drive here of this third quarter. Winfield has answered every Hoover touchdown with one of their own. Took a little while for the first one, but immediately answered the second one in this third quarter. Tie it back up at 14 as Beam on that first down play gets stopped after about a yard gained to the 36-yard line.
Beam averaging 3.4 yards a carry, much lower than he normally is. Again, over 10 yards a carry in their last time out. So doing a fantastic job. Hoover's defense is really bottling him up, but it's not like they're stopping him completely. Still has 34 yards in this one. Now the ground game slowed, but definitely not stopped here for the Generals.
That's thanks to the legs of Bryson Brown and Bray Boggs helping to pick up where Caden Beam has been unsuccessful, as Brown with a quick throw trying to find Tanner Lowry.
That's only the third attempt by Winfield, 2 by Brown and 1 by Hinkle. The first incompletion there, just threw it a little bit too far ahead of him. Probably thrown to the right side, probably thrown to maybe the better spot. Wide receiver didn't cut in quite enough, but either way, now it's 3rd down and long for Winfield.
3rd and a long 9 for the Generals here. 25 seconds on the play clock now. Brown under center. Couple of hard snap counts. Keeps it himself on a quarterback run. And Brown will be brought down right around the 40. It'll be Joseph White, the corner, making the stop for the Huskies defense. And they will mark him at the 41, so it is a 5-yard pickup, but 4th and 5 on the way. Winfield with the offense staying out there right now with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Generals trailing by 6. Number 9 leads number 1 on the road in this second round playoff matchup. And some confusion and a timeout requested and granted with 1 minute to go here in this third quarter. With that timeout, we'll step aside for a quick break ourselves. 1 minute to go, third quarter action, 14 all here between number 1 Winfield and number 9 Herbert Hoover. We're back right after this.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items.
They're averaging less than
Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store.
They're punning.
If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar convenience stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Yeah, guys going back there. Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah. Correction on our score before we went to break there. It's 20-14. Hoover with the lead, and what we thought the Generals were going to keep the offense out, they elect now to bring the punt team out and play for field positioning. but not a great punt.
It
is helped out by the bounce and roll, though, as it'll be downed at the 32. So Herbert Hoover will get the football back with 49 seconds left here in the third quarter.
And this is the most
and
important
a 6-point lead.
Most important drive for Winfield's defense so far, and this one obviously the most recent one's usually the most important. But I mean, at this juncture in the game, if they let Hoover go down here and score, maybe they'll go for two, make it a full two-score game or something. But very important time for them. They need to try to get that penetration they had earlier in the game. Try to get after Hatfield. Don't let him slip through, where he can turn a run into a second or third level run fairly easily. Got him in the backfield.
Hatfield in the shotgun, going to keep it himself, as he's been asked to do quite a bit here recently. Was bottled up there, and he'll lose yards back behind the 30-yard line. They will officially spot him at the 32. So that's about a 4-yard loss there. Well, check that now, a 3-yard loss. 3.5.
And that was a great job just bottling up such an explosive player. It looks like we have a injury timeout of some sort. I think that's 20.
Maybe an equipment timeout. Yeah, it looks like Levi Paxton's just trying to
fix his shoes
tie
or
his
something.
shoe or something. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what he's doing.
But I think that should be the final play of the third quarter, unless they're going to try to run it really quickly and catch them by surprise. Yeah, they are going to run it really quickly. Final play of the third quarter here. Hatfield under some heavy pressure, escapes initially, still bottled up and still on his feet, though, and now he's brought down at the 20. About an 8 or 9 yard loss there on the final play of the third quarter, and that'll bring up fourth down. So the Generals defense should be forcing a 3 and out and a punt coming up. When we come back after this, we head to the fourth quarter, where Herbert Hoover on the road leads the #1 team in Class AA in this second-round playoff matchup. Herbert Hoover trying to go to the semifinals for just the fourth time in school history. Herbert Hoover is 1 quarter away from doing just that. Winfield hoping to host another playoff game here next week for the semifinals. We've got 1 quarter left to decide it. We're back with more right after this.
I'm Keith Powell, and I'm
Had me tricked.
helping you
I know what the fuck was going on with it.
Truck or SUV. I love saying yes to $2 down. I love saying yes to $200 monthly payments. I love saying yes to up to $2,000 more for your trade. And I love saying yes to your approved with my Keith Says Yes credit approval process. All of this plus a lifetime warranty only at Yes Chevrolet in Hurricane.
Rocky Knob Farm from Pritchard, West Virginia wants to say good luck to all.
Seeing the Huskies break the huddle there from that far side of the field as we get ready for fourth quarter action between #9 Herbert Hoover and #1 Winfield. It's 20 for the visiting Huskies, 14 for the home Generals.
And it looks like they're going for it here.
Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew.
I think he also punts.
Happy to have you along with us here this evening. Well, I thought that was going to be fourth down coming up, but I think they just changed the sticks early on me. It's 3rd and 20 on the way.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Apologies, I thought that was 3rd down play last time before the end of the quarter, but 3rd and 20 now. Hatfield pumps once, now lets it go deep down the far side of the field, and that one's almost intercepted. And double coverage there. Matthew Daly and Bray Boggs in on the coverage for the Winfield defense, as Hatfield was trying to find the man he's found twice already in this game for scores, Jacob Burns, but that pass incomplete, and Joey Fields was begging for a pass interference call there, and it could have been gone either way, honestly, but I think the no call is the better route there from the officials.
I think it was a good no call. Everyone had a shot at it. No one came down with it, maybe a little bit overthrown there by Hatfield, who was under some pretty intense pressure there at the end. So good stand by Winfield's defense here, getting the ball back, and now the offense is trying to find a way to score.
Levi Paxton punts it away. It'll be fielded at the 41 by Boggs. Boggs will break out of one tackle initially, and he'll be brought down at the 48. So Winfield with great starting field position on this next drive with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. There is a flag on the field, though, so that starting field position might be changed.
Number 3 there was just had to hit the back. Excuse me about that. Yeah, Lafferty just, he knew it as soon as he did it, too, here on the near side, right around the 40. So that's going to set Winfield back just a little bit. Well, more like 10 yards, I guess it is. So definitely a little bit difficult.
So that will back up the Generals 1st and 10 to their own 33. And Hayden Hinkle in the game at quarterback now for Winfield.
As you caught the Hinkle, Wrinkle did a good job in the last drive. It seems they can pull it off again.
And again, you might be wondering, why would you go to a sophomore here late in the game when you've got a senior quarterback? Because he's too good of a player to leave on the field. Doesn't get his number called there. He hands it off to Caden Beam, the big senior fullback, and he's stopped for no gain. Good penetration by the Husky defense there.
Hoover's done just an impeccable job on Beam, one of the best running backs, especially in the Valley. Held so far tonight just 34 yards and 11 carries.
2nd and 10, Hinkle tried to hand it off to Boggs. Boggs lost it on the handoff and is able to get back on top of it just in time before Isaiah Chapman could come in to scoop it up and force a turnover. But it's a big loss. Back to the 28-yard line as we again take another look at it here in our Par Mar Stores instant replay. Boggs just flat out dropped it on the handoff.
And it almost hurts more when it wasn't necessarily forced by the defense, just a problem with the handoff they make so many times a game. Just a mental lapse is really inopportune time.
Lafferty going to split up to the top of the formation with Kwan Pearson. Jace Miller comes to the bottom of the formation attached as a tight end. Hinkle in the shotgun. First time the Generals have been in the shotgun all night. Hinkle with a couple of ball fakes. Now going to take off and run for it. Hinkle's got the line of scrimmage back across the 40, and he might have gotten the first down.
What a good job by Hinkle. Realized the entire defense was on the right side of the field, had plenty of room to the left, and he picked up that first down, which I think he did.
Well, he's right at it. Well, now where they spotted it, that is a first down. You can see it's right where we're standing in our broadcast location. That ball is clearly beyond the line of scrimmage or the line to gain. I don't know why they're not bringing the chains over to measure this. Because, again, standing from our vantage point, now we're going to stop it. Because it was set to be 4th and 1. Now they've reset the chains on the far side to show first down. But they're going to talk this over for just a second.
Well, it looked like the
now it's a first down. There we go. I was about to say, from literally standing right where we are, we can clearly see that's a full yard beyond the line to gain. So 1st and 10, chains will reset for the Generals as it's now 1st down and 10 from their own 43-yard line.
And then, like you said, that's why you bring in the sophomore there. What a special play there to extend out. Like I said, first time to win the shotgun, it will turn it into about a 20-yard gain, keep the drive alive.
Clock now under 10 minutes to go here in regulation. Generals trail by 6 here at home as the number 1 seed. Beam initially met after a couple of yards, but then dropped the shoulder and picked up a few more. He gets across the 45 to the 46. So a 4-yard pickup there brings up 2nd and 6.
Did a great job there to stretch out and turn about a 2-yard drive into a 4.
So 2nd and 6 on the way, 9.5 to go here in regulation. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you along with us in our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Hinkle turns, hands off to Bray Boggs and an ISO off the right side. Boggs breaks out of a couple tackles, still on his feet at the 45, down inside the 40 to the 35, cuts back in toward the hash marks, still on his feet at the 25, and finally down inside the 20. What a run from the senior Bray Boggs. Sets up his offense 1st and 10 from the red zone now. A 28-yard run from the senior running back. So we take another look at it there on our Par Mar Stores instant replay.
Just about every player on Hoover's defense seems to have got a hand on that one. Just a great job just slipping and sliding, keeping his feet churning. Another huge play for this Winfield offense when really they haven't been able to break many so far.
1st and 10 for make it the 19, so give him 29 yards on that run. Hinkle under center, turns hands off to Boggs again to the outside. Boggs spun around and slung to the ground. Tackle there made by Marquise Walker. And it'll be a 1-yard pickup, maybe, if that. They may have given him the 18-yard line, and that's a little bit of a generous spot. But 2nd and 9 on the way up regardless for the Generals. Again, the sophomore Hayden Hinkle still in the game at quarterback for Winfield.
And see if they try to mix in a pass here. Hinkle, they tried a couple times. One was completed, the other was that long gain on the ground.
I formation, man comes in motion, handoff to the fullback Beam, and the play is blown dead. A timeout taken there with 7:57 before the play comes off. So timeout granted to the Generals. That stops it with 7:57 to go here. 20-14 our score here in the 4th quarter. We'll be back with more 4th quarter action right after this here on our High School Game Day Parmar Stores Game of the Week.
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG Tundra Hybrid. Give your new Toyota the protection it deserves with a genuine Toyota service contract. Visit balltoyota.com. Ball Toyota of Charleston.
2nd and 9 on the way for the Generals. Hinkle turns, keeps it himself on the left side, and he's met in the backfield. Coming up with the tackle for loss there, Gavin Allison making the big stop back at the 20-yard line for the Huskies defense. 3rd and a long 11 on the way for Winfield here.
That's a play that Brown's been able to stretch out a couple of times, but Hinkle just wasn't able to find that corner around the near side of the line.
Offset I for the Generals. Hinkle under center. Takes the snap, tosses it out to Boggs. Boggs going to throw it down the far side of the field. Pass is tipped. And it's incomplete. Dane Hatfield in the coverage for the Hoover defense. Pass intended for Tanner Laughery. As we take another look at it there on the pitch and then the pass to Boggs. Boggs just didn't have enough mustard on it to get it to the end zone.
Yeah, he had a step on him there, but just was not able to get it just far enough. And that's a real tough break for Winfield as they turned the ball over.
And a timeout requested here, 7:17 to go.
Haven't turned it over yet.
Now 4th down on the way, 4th and 11 for the Generals, so some decisions to be made. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Don't forget, Kroger will have our player of the game coming up here later on in this contest. We want to appreciate HD Media, as they've been with us all season long, part of our HD, with the HD family with RSN Sports. You can read all about tonight's contest later on through HD Media websites, wvgazettemail.com or heralddispatch.com. You can read it on newsstands tomorrow. Also want to be certain to thank General Drug Pharmacy, Abston & Sons, Top Notch Detail, Roney's Pizza, Frontier Communications, the West Virginia Coal Association, as well as Dean Jeffries with State Farm.
Huge play here for Winfield as they try to turn it, or they try to get another first down, keep this drive alive.
4th and 11 for the Generals. And now an official's time. We're going to talk about this one and see exactly what's going on.
I don't know if it's a time on the clock issue or...
Yeah, it looks like the play clock may have gotten frozen there for a moment. Now the play clock is off. So I believe they're going to keep the play clock on the field, I think is what they're saying at this point. But yeah, the play clock has been turned off. Here we go, 4th and 11. Hinkle drops back to throw, steps up, lofts one over the middle, and it's caught! Beams! Boggs pulls it down and brings it into the end zone! Touchdown Generals on 4th and 11 from the 20! It's a 20-yard touchdown pass from Hayden Hinkle to Bray Boggs as we take another look at it. Parmar Stores instant replay coming up clutch, and a clutch catch there for Bray Boggs to put the Generals an extra point away from taking the lead for the first time tonight.
Great job by Boggs to go get that one, climb the ladder, bring it down, was a little bit high, came out anyway, turned the corner when the defenders hit each other. Just fantastic job there. And now they're ahead because of that blocked field goal last. Oh no!
Kick is no good!
Wow.
William Bradley misses the extra point, and we're tied at 20 still with 7:10 to go. It looked good from our angle here, but the officials say it is no good, and we're at 20 all.
Apparently it looked good from the Winfield sideline too, because he's signaling good to the ref. He's telling him no. And sometimes the angles can play with you on that type of thing, and so now it remains a tie game. What a change.
We knew this was going to be a great game from the start, that this matchup was made on Sunday after these two teams won their respective first-round games in blowout fashion. Winfield winning here, first time hosting a playoff game since 1987 state championship season. The Cardinal Conference champions this year knocked off Logan 43-0 in the first round. Herbert Hoover with a 63-26 win at Clay County last week, who hosted their first playoff game in school history in over 100 years. Tonight, these two teams putting on a show for the fans here in Putnam County. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you with us. Boot to ball, we're getting back underway. Kickoff is returned over on the far side, and man, if he had been able to have a block sealed for him there, had a nice lane for Bryce Grimm, the junior. But Herbert Hoover will get great field position here on this next drive. 1st and 10 from what looks to be their 37.
And so far in this one, Hatfield 117 yards on the ground, 104 in the air. It's been the Dane Hatfield show in this one. Let's see if he can come up with more magic, or if Winfield can find a couple good plays to slow him down.
Hatfield responsible for all 3 touchdowns for the Huskies tonight. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. The last one gave the Herbert Hoover Huskies back the lead 20-14 before Winfield scored just a few moments ago. Little more than 7 left here in the fourth quarter. Hatfield drops back to throw under some pressure, and he's just going to let go of it over to the sideline. And looking for an intentional grounding on this Winfield side, and there it is. That's going to be a loss of down and a penalty.
It's always a mature thing to get rid of the ball, but you got to make sure you do it legally.
And an illegal motion thrown into that as well. But that one will be declined. They'll take the result of the play, which is the intentional grounding. So with just under 7 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter, Winfield facing 2nd and 25 now.
And the loss of down's a killer there too. Huge break there for Winfield, and just a tough play by Hatfield. Really, he was trying to do the right thing. It's normally the right thing, but just couldn't get it out of bounds far enough downfield.
26 degrees here in Winfield tonight now. And it's 20 all on the scoreboard with under 7 minutes to go. Hatfield in the shotgun, drops back to throw, surveys the field under some heavy pressure, escapes one tackle, and still on his feet, finally brought down now from behind. Logan Howe with the hit, and he will drop him after a short gain, but Hatfield really should have been stopped there in the backfield for a sack.
He should. Winfield's also doing a great job of bringing extra guys. It seems like a lot of times when Hatfield's able to scoot away and look like he's about to turn up field, but just for there to be another general showing up, the cavalry arriving there. Great job spotting him up, but you're right, it could have been much worse after that initial contact.
3rd and long for the Hoover offense now. Tie ball game. Winner advances to the semifinals next week. Winfield looking to host again. Hatfield takes the snap under some pressure, throws it high in the air, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Braden James on the near sideline. Some tight coverage provided there for Winfield by Bray Boggs as well as Toby Laffery. As we take another look at it on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay, that one hung up there for just a little bit too long because Jones had the step.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fairly well-placed ball, but just good defense there. Couldn't quite get a clear path there and bring it in, so now Hoover forced to punt at a very key juncture.
Yeah, 6:02 left to go here in the 4th quarter in a tie ball game, 20-all. After Hoover had an extra point blocked and Winfield missed one. Good punt there. Boggs will let it bounce out of bounds. Bray Boggs lets it go at the 37. So Winfield with the football. About halfway to go here in the 4th quarter with a chance to win the game here. And if Winfield can put together another one of those long time yardage play drives,
signature drives,
it could be the final one in this game.
Looks like Hinkle's still in the game. That Hinkle-Wrinkle really becoming a big part of their offense going forward in this game, trying to get to the next round.
Winfield trailed in the Week 2 matchup 14-13, and then a 75-yard, 11-play drive in the 4th quarter put Winfield on top for good, 19-14 to win that one. A nice run there. As we take another look at it on the toss to Caden Beam, the fullback toss to the near side. Had some good blocking, and then Beam with a nice hurdle there to pick up some extra yards. 2nd and short on the way. 4 yards to go for the Generals. Hinkle in under center, sends Boggs in motion. Now they'll check the play. Hinkle being added into the Killer Bees. Again, play clock turned off. They're keeping it on the field. Hinkle, play action, steps up, fires down the field. Looking for Jace Miller, and it's incomplete. Levi Paxton as well as Joseph White in on the coverage as we take another look at it on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay.
And under pressure there at the end, had to throw into, didn't have to, but threw into double coverage, and kind of lucky that one just hit the ball innocent, or hit the ground innocently.
Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you with us here from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Don't forget, Kroger, player of the game, coming up here in about 4 or 5 minutes, depending on when this one ends. We may be going to overtime and may not be able to make a decision until the end of this one in OT. Hinkle keeps it himself on a quarterback counter. Hinkle fighting for the first down. He should have it. A nice run there for the sophomore as he gets up across the 45, and he's brought down a few yards shy of midfield, and that is a Generals first down.
Well, Hinkle quietly the most efficient runner so far for Winfield. 5 carries, 36 yards. Also had a 37-yard completion through the air.
2 to the near side. That's Davis and Pearson. Boggs, the wing back to the near side, with Beam, the tailback, the fullback. Handoff goes to Boggs off the right side on an ISO. Boggs with the patience gets up to midfield and may have just barely crossed in to Herbert Hoover territory. And they will give him down to the 49, so Generals into Husky territory. 2nd and a long 6 to go. 2 wingbacks, 1 to either side now for the Generals. Hinkle sends Boggs in motion to the right. It's a counter come back to the near side. Pearson swallowed up in the backfield. A 2-yard loss, maybe a 3-yard loss, depending on where they spot him. As it was Gavin Allison flying in to make the stop there in the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard loss. We'll call it 3, make it 3rd and 10. going to say a long 9, but that's more closer to 10 than it is 9. 20-all still our score. 3.5 to go here on a moving clock in the fourth quarter. Again, winner moves on to the semifinals in Class AA. Winfield hoping to play that semifinal game right here on their home field next week. Toss comes to Boggs to the near side, sure-handed this time. Boggs trying to get the first down, and he's going to come up short. Well short at that. He got back into Hoover territory, but he will still be about 4 yards shy of the first down. 4th and about 4 after he picked up 6. And the Generals offense staying out on the field now with under 3 to go. 4th and 4 for Winfield on the way. Huskies defense looking for a stop here with the game tied 20 apiece. Boggs went in motion, stopped, and now they'll reset. Aiden Hernandez, the lone receiver to the near side of the formation. 2 wingbacks are K'Wan Pearson and Bray Boggs. Caden Beam, the fullback. Hayden Hinkle, the sophomore, the tailback, or the quarterback rather.
That may have
and
been by
a
design.
timeout. Yeah, timeout there with 2:24 to go. Offense stayed out there. Now they send the punt team out.
I don't think that was. I think that was actually a delay of game because they're moving.
Oh yeah, that
back.
is a delay of game. Excuse me, I missed the flag come out
Sometimes in college you do that by design. I don't think that's necessarily the concern here of them punting it out of the back, but give a little more room and gave Hoover the opportunity to give him a free first down. Didn't bite though.
Good punt that time from Dylan Cool. Takes a bounce and takes a Winfield bounce and rolls all the way inside the 10, down to the 6. 2:12 left to go here in regulation. 20 for the visiting Herbert Hoover Huskies. 20 for the home team Winfield Generals. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you with us. However you're watching, wherever you're watching tonight's broadcast, whether it be HD Media Plus app, brand new here in the last couple of weeks. If you don't have it, I'd suggest you go download it because you can find tons of games there for us on our high school game day platform, as well as other videos that HD Media has been putting out. And don't forget, you can read all about tonight's game later on this evening on WVGazetteMail.com or HeraldDispatch.com. You can read about it tomorrow in newsstands. 2:12 to go. Huskies have to go 94 yards to score a touchdown here. And the ball is lost. Hatfield stripped. And the Generals come away with it. Dane Hatfield lost the football as he was making a move upfield. Had it stripped from him. And who comes up from the pile with it? That's going to be Winfield's Toby Lawfrey.
What a huge play and a huge time. First turnover, except for an early turnover on downs by either team, and just wow. There it goes, popped out. Who forced that? 70.
That's Jackson Cunningham who forces that. Big number 72 strips that one away from Dane Hatfield. And now with 2:06 to go, Winfield's got the football back, but before they take a snap, the Huskies going to take a timeout. We'll step aside for a short break with it. 2:06 left in regulation, 20-all our score here in round number 2. Winner onto the semis. We're back after this.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community. And
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG.
These two teams have traded punches all night long. First and goal from inside the 10. Caden Beam stopped just out of bounds, but a nice gain there. After the defense for Winfield forced the fumble inside the goal line area. The offense now 6 yards away from taking the lead for the first time tonight. Winfield missed the extra point after their last score that would have given them a 21-20 lead. But the defense does its job a few moments ago, forces a fumble, gives it back to the offense. Hinkle under center, turns, hands off to Boggs. Boggs on an ISO, trying to get across the goal line. Does he get there? No.
Looks like it's about the 1, if I'm judging that angle correctly.
So 3rd and goal on the way with under 2 to go. So 3rd and goal from inside the 1. And now a timeout for the Herbert Hoover Huskies. We'll tell you how we got here in this one. It started off with Jacob Burns taking it 59 yards to the house on the opening series for Herbert Hoover on offense. That came with 6:03 to go. It took 6:01 for the Generals to answer. Kwan Pearson had a 12-yard touchdown catch that tied it at 7 apiece. Then with 9:03 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Huskies took the lead back at 14-7, a 24-yard touchdown catch by Jacob Burns. Then the Generals answer on the ensuing possession. Boggs punches it in from 3 yards out to make it 14-all. Then with 2:37 to go in the 4th quarter, in the 3rd quarter, Hayden Hatfield punches it in from 35 yards out. And then on 4th and 11, Bray Boggs brings in a catch over the middle of the defense and races into the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown catch to tie it up at 20-all. The extra point was missed. On 3rd and goal from inside the 1, is he in? Yes, he is! Touchdown Generals with 1:32. Bray Boggs slices his way into the end zone and puts Winfield up by a touchdown. Extra point on the way.
This very simple play call was such a huge play, putting his team up by 6, potentially 7 here. Not a lot of time left, 1:30 here, just pushing through the middle. No doubt on that one, giving his team the lead at home, like you said, trying to host another game next week here in Winfield as well.
Right now, the Generals appear like they're going to go for 2 on this PAT try instead of kicking it. Offense lines up 6, looking for 2 more. Toss comes to the near side to Pearson, and Pearson's going to be stopped well short of the goal line. 1:32, 92 ticks left on the clock here in regulation. Number 1 Winfield just took the lead for the first time tonight. 26-20. Generals had to drive down a substantial length of the field there after having a good return negated by a personal foul and moved them back, but they just marched down the field, as is their calling card. It's the same thing that the Generals did to this Herbert Hoover team all the way back in week number 2. Will a 75-yard drive in week 2 put them up 19-14, and a drive equal to that almost right there puts them up 26-20 here in the 2nd round of the playoffs, with the winner advancing to the semifinals next week.
So 92 seconds left in this game. As we noted before, all of Hoover's scores so far have been from long distance, 59 yards, 35 yards, 24 yards in this one. A lot of explosive plays in this one. They're finding some more of that explosive in the second half. Far from an over game, especially with the failed 2-point conversion, a 6-point game. Still a lot of life left in these Huskies too.
Winfield set to kick it off, leading for the first time tonight, 26-20. Relatively short kick. Burns going to have to go back to it. Picks it up at the 15, and now he'll come on the return. Burns, a short return of maybe 11 to the 26. So about 6 seconds come off the clock there. And that leaves Herbert Hoover with 86 seconds remaining to try and tie and then take the lead here, or force overtime if they can't get the 2-point conversion or a PAT try. He wouldn't go for 2, obviously, only needing the 1 point. But A touchdown will tie it and send it to overtime. An extra point would win it for the Huskies if they could get that score. But a long ways to go. 74 yards the Huskies will have to go to tie the game. Hatfield drops back to throw, throws, it's tipped and onto the ground. Generals defense bats that one into the air and then to the ground. Incompletion stops the clock with 1:21 to go in regulation. 2nd and 10 on the way for the Huskies. Again, our Kroger player of the game. We'll announce that after this game as we take another look at our Par-Mar Stores instant replay. Great job there by Logan Howe getting a mid on it, the middle linebacker. Want to make certain we thank General Drug Pharmacy, Abston & Sons, Top-Notch Detail, Roney's Pizza, Frontier Communications for our broadcast booth, West Virginia Coal Association. We also want to make certain to thank State Farm agent Dean Jeffries. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Hatfield under some pressure, steps up in the pocket over on the left side, throws it as he's hit. Or as he throws, he's hit, trying to sidearm one over to Levi Paxton, and that'll be an incompletion as Paxton couldn't come up with the grab. And there is a flag that comes in there at the end. Could it be a late hit?
Possibly. I didn't exactly see which
it was a
it came
pretty
out
bang play as Hatfield let go of it. And it is going to be a roughing the passer. An unfortunate penalty for the Generals, but one that the Huskies will happily take advantage of here with 1:14. First down now for the Huskies at their own 41-yard line.
And he was trying to get that one to Paxton. Paxton, his top receiver in the season, has not had a catch so far in this one. He became the lead receiver largely because of some injuries to the starting guys, but still, he tried to get it to him a couple of times, but this one has not been able to find him.
Trips to the near side. Paxton, the bottom of your screen there. Hatfield slings it out to the far side. That's a first down grab for Burns. And then he's out of bounds in Winfield territory at the 44-yard line. So a 16-yard pickup there for the Huskies offense.
That puts Burns at 113 receiving yards.
Burns certainly a candidate for our Kroger player of the game. A couple of guys for both sides have made a case for that. 1:07 left here in this fourth quarter. Huskies trailing by 6. Hatfield takes the snap under some pressure, and he just slings it down the field, and it's almost caught somehow. Oh my goodness, Braden James somehow almost made a catch. Bray Boggs came in to try to provide some defensive pressure on that catch attempt, but oh my goodness, how does Dane Hatfield get rid of this one?
Yeah, I don't know if...
He literally just slung it. That's the prettiest slung ball I've ever seen, though.
It was reasonably accurate, too. Just took a while to get there and let the defender make a play on, but good job of getting away from it, of getting it away. Maybe not what his coaches wanted to do in that situation, especially given the down and distance and the situation of the game, but let's find another down.
Jackson Cunningham on the pressure there. 2nd and 10 now. Hatfield under some pressure again from Cunningham. He rolls out to his left and throws it away. Incompletion brings up 3rd and 10. Clock stopped with 53 seconds to go. Do the Generals defense have one more stop in them?
Hatfield's only been able to complete one of his last 7 passes. That pass rush is really getting to him, Cunningham especially.
We knew this was going to be a great game before we got here, folks, and it has shaped up to be all that and more. 26-20, under a minute to go. Hatfield, quarterback draw, going to take it himself on 3rd and 10, has the first down and then some. Inside the 30, still on his feet and forced out of bounds inside the 25. What a run from the sophomore quarterback, Dane Hatfield, as we see another look at it on our Par-Mar Stores instant replay. Well-executed draw play there for the Huskies offense. 1st and 10 from the 23 now of the Generals.
139 yards on the ground for Hatfield to go along with 120 through the air.
Hatfield had 190 yards rushing last week and 6 touchdowns. Gonna keep it himself again. Breaks out of one tackle, still on his feet, down inside the 15.
Another 9 right there.
Huskies inside the red zone now with just over 30 seconds to go. He was short of the first down. Give him 8, bring up 2nd and 2. Hatfield drops back to pass, throws to the far side, and that is caught for a moment. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. Jacob Burns with the first down grab. 1st and goal from the 5 now for the Huskies. 21 seconds to go. Again, 1st and goal from the 5. 21 ticks on the clock. Now it's rolling under 20 seconds. Hatfield takes a snap, keeps it himself, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 8 seconds, 7, 6, and the clock is stopped with a timeout from the Huskies. 6 seconds left here in regulation. Winfield 26, Hoover 20. Timeout for the Huskies as they try to fire up the far side of the field for what could be the final play of the game. Huskies need a touchdown here with 6 seconds and then have to make the extra point to shock the Winfield Generals here at their home field.
And I don't see it's most likely going to be a Hatfield up the middle. I mean, that's been by far the most successful play so far in this one. 19 carries, 148 yards. They've gotten plays through the air, but I think here they're probably going to stick with their true bread and butter and leave this one in the hands of Dane Hatfield. And for Winfield, it's guys like Cunningham. Really got to get that penetration, really got to get hands on him and hold him up and wait for the cavalry to get there.
Clock has been reset. They put 2 seconds back on, so 8 seconds left on the clock. 6-point game. Winner goes to the state semifinals in Class AA. Nary a soul is on their behind here on the stands. Just about everybody up and making noise on both sides of the field. 8 seconds in regulation. Hatfield in the shotgun, has trips to the near side, drops back to pass, throws toward the far side of the end zone. Does he get in? Burns makes the grab. Yes, he does. Touchdown, Hoover. With 2 seconds to go in regulation, Jacob Burns hauls it in and crosses the goal line. And the general sideline is stunned in silence. Extra point on the way from the Huskies. That would put them on top 27-26 if they can make it. Levi Paxton, the team's leading receiver on the regular season, forced into it due to some injuries in the wideout group. He's a Marshall University committed kicker. Tees it up for the extra point, go-ahead field goal. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is up and good. 27-26, Hoover's going to shock the Generals.
Wow, just incredible plays there at the end to drive down with less than a minute 30, with about a minute 32 left. Stick with the bread by Hatfield, just being incredible on that play. And then Burns pulling in his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Not quite over yet, though. We still have to have the kickoff because there are 2 seconds on the clock, and that was key. They added 2 more seconds after the timeout by Herbert Hoover. It stood at 6, then they changed it to 8. Right now, that's the difference on the scoreboard for this game because it gives Winfield an opportunity to return this kickoff.
And if I remember correctly, last season in the playoffs, it was a kick return which put the final nail in the coffin for Herbert Hoover in their opening round loss. So, something that might be an Achilles heel for them. Definitely going to try to pay extra attention to this return, try to escape this one with the 1-point win.
Herbert Hoover last year, 10-0 regular season, bounced in the first round by the eventual state champions, 16-seeded Fairmont Senior. This year, Hoover comes in after losing their first 2 games of the season to what ended up being number 4 Scott and number 1 Winfield. They rattled off 8 straight wins to get to this quarterfinal round against Winfield. Winfield lost the opener to Hurricane and then rattled off 10 to get here. Kickoff is short, recovered by the Generals, and it's recovered with 1 second on the clock. So Herbert Hoover will have to defend for one final play here. What a contest here in Putnam County tonight. So very thankful for all of you joining us for this broadcast. you have been tuned into a hotly contested game from start to finish. Winfield took the lead for the first time, 26-20, missed the extra point that would have put them on top and would have made this a tie game now. So now Hinkle drops back to throw, throws over the far side, and it's almost intercepted, but that's the final play of the game. The number 7 Herbert Hoover Huskies knock off the number 1 Winfield Generals. A final score 27-26. And Herbert Hoover is moving on to the semifinals for the 4th time in school history. And some chippiness now on the field. But again, it doesn't change the result on the scoreboard. Winfield falls here at home in the second round of the playoffs, 27-26.
And I'm going to go player of the game, and it goes Burns.
Yeah, our Kroger player of the game. Hard to give it to somebody other than Jacob Burns. Now, granted, Dane Hatfield, a great case for it, but Burns, a heck of a job tonight.
Yeah, he played a fantastic game with Burns, 6 catches, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner. Huge game for him. Huge game for the Huskies as they advance now.
So again, the Herbert Hoover Huskies knock off the number 1 Winfield Generals on the road. Herbert Hoover hasn't played a game at home since October 21st. 4 wins in a row on the road here after 2 to close out the regular season, and then back-to-back road playoff wins for Herbert Hoover. And again, they go to the semifinals for just the 4th time in school history. And Jacob Burns, our Kroger player of the game. Want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Again, you can read all about tonight's contest later on this evening on WVGazetteMail.com or HeraldDispatch.com or tomorrow morning on the newsstand versions. Also want to thank General Drug and Pharmacy. Looking for fast and friendly pharmacy? General Drug and Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy located in Winfield, offering prescription medications as well as over-the-counter medicines and supplements, offering a full-service drive-through and curbside delivery, including patient education and immunizations. We're locally owned and operated with a welcoming atmosphere for our customers. Visit us at 12044 Winfield Road and experience fast, friendly, and local pharmacy just around the corner from your neighborhood. Absent & Sons, located at 13465 Winfield Road in Winfield. It's your one-stop shop for all your construction, electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Contact them at 304-575-2864. That's 304-757-2864, or check out the website at abstinentsons.com. With one call, they service it all. Top-Notch Detail. At Top-Notch Detail, they offer a wide range of packages to suit their customers' needs. They take pride in detailing vehicles and making sure your vehicle looks top-notch. When you leave, they offer consultations to better understand their clients' needs and exceed expectations every time. Come see them. They'll be at their new location, 5082 Elk River Road North in Elkview, starting December 1st. Owner-operator Kara Crowley. And Tony Roney's Pizza. Top 10 reasons to visit Roney's Pizza, located at Creed's Landing in Elkview, West Virginia. Number 1, best wings in the valley with 6 wing sauces made in-house. Number 2, more than pizza and wings. They have paninis, salads, and delicious soups. Number 3, they're a proud sponsor of Hoover Athletics. Number 4, friendly staff. Number 5, homemade dough and made with only the freshest ingredients. Number 6, family atmosphere. Number 7, open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Number 8, locally owned and operated by a Hoover 1984 grad. Dine in or take out. Number 9, and number 10, the unofficial doghouse of Herbert Hoover. Also want to make certain to thank Frontier Communications for providing our broadcast location this evening with our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. West Virginia Coal Association, and still Coal keeps the stadium lights on. And we also want to make certain to thank Dean Jeffries, as when you think you've made the right decision, it feels good, like calling the right player, going for it on 4th and 1 and getting the first down. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Dean Jeffries is right here in West Virginia to help you select the right protection at the right price. Dean will make certain you understand your State Farm coverages so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Dean Jeffries, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call Dean when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So big thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, our Kroger player of the game goes to Jacob Burns, 3 touchdowns, including the go-ahead score to give Herbert Hoover the lead. Again, big thanks to our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Appreciate them as always. Hoover, with the win, moves on to the next round of the playoffs, as it'll await the winner of Scott and Frankfurt, and Hoover will have to go on the road once again That does it for us here on this Football Friday night for the playoffs in round number 2. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Stay warm, folks. It's going to get cold here over the next couple of days, so be certain you stay warm and bundled up. Have a great rest of your Friday night.